drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Hola de nuevo amigos, bienvenidos a edupediaworld.com to the Spanish Intermediate level. Hablemos español. On the previous video, we studied the use of the pronoun se in a pronominal way. But in this case, we're going to see the two uses in a non-pronominal way, which are the passive reflexive se and the impersonal se. Then we're going to contrast them and learn how to make the difference between them since they are very similar. So, are you ready? ¿Estás listo? Comencemos. Let's start. As we saw in the previous video, we had some phrases using the pronoun se in the pronominal way. For example, él se ducha, he takes a shower, ellos se besan, they kiss each other, etc. Now we're going to use the pronoun se with a different meaning. You're going to see why. The first one is in the passive reflexive phrases, el se en pasivas reflejas. Look at this phrase. La iglesia se construyó en el año 1700. Se escucharon varios ruidos. If we translate the phrases in English, it would be like the church was built in the year 1700. Different noises were heard. It would be like the passive voice. But in Spanish, we have a different passive form, a different passive formation, that is the passive reflexive phrases, las frases pasivas reflejas. La iglesia se construyó. Se escucharon varios ruidos. You see, in the passive voice in Spanish, remember that first you have the verb to be and then the past participle, which would be la iglesia fue construida. But for the passive reflexives with se, you have the pronoun se in red and rojo, plus the verb in past, present, or future. Se construyó. Se escucharon. And as you can see, the verb can be in singular or plural according to the subject. Why do we have this different passive form? Because we use it when we want to make emphasis on the action and the object that receives it. It's another way to make emphasis on this, as we do in the passive voice, of course. Hacemos énfasis en la acción y el objeto que la recibe. In this kind of phrases, you can see that the verb would be in singular or plural, of course, according to the subject, that in this case would be a patient subject. Sometimes in passive voice phrases, you have as a subject, you can have this kind of subjects as well, which is the patient subject, sujeto paciente. Why? Because it's not the doer of the action, it's the person, animal, or thing that receives it. Sujeto paciente when you have it. Let's look at the first phrase in the normal passive voice in Spanish, and you will see the difference. La iglesia fue construida en 1700. The church was built in the year 1700. Can you see the difference? In both cases, we make emphasis on the action and the objects. Hacemos énfasis en la acción y el objeto, pero usando el se. But now using the se and the verb, okay? In both cases, the subject is patient because it is la iglesia, the object that was built. You have another way to use the pronoun se, which is the impersonal se, el se impersonal. You're going to see why it is impersonal. As the word itself says, you don't have a particular subject or person that is the star of the phrase, as we could say. Look at these examples. En Venezuela se come muy bien. In Venezuela, we eat or you eat very well. Se trabaja mejor en silencio. We work better in silence. In English, sometimes for this kind of impersonality, you would use we or you. But in Spanish, only using the pronoun se plus the verb, you can create this kind of impersonality. Look at the difference between this one and the other one. You say se come, se trabaja. With the se impersonal, no tiene sujeto. You don't have any subject. And even if you try to find it, it's not possible. For example, if you say, come muy bien en Venezuela, you don't know who eats very well in Venezuela. Trabaja mejor en silencio, you don't know who. So in this kind of phrases, you don't have a subject because you don't need it, in fact. No lo necesitas. The verb is always in the third person of the singular. Siempre está en tercera persona del singular. Él o ella. Se come, se trabaja. And of course, why you don't have the subject or why you don't need it? Because the emphasis is on the action itself. You want to know that in Venezuela, most of the people eat very well because the food is various and delicious. You would say you work better in silence because the emphasis is on the fact of working in silence, not who works in silence. So that's why we use this kind of se, the se impersonal. This se also sometimes, even though it's impersonal, can have a particular meaning of general, like talking about a society or a group of people. If you say se trabaja mejor en silencio, you could be talking about a group in an enterprise, a work group in an enterprise, or teachers team in a school. This is what we, in some way, how we can use this kind of se impersonal. You could also find this impersonal se, this se impersonal, when you're talking about rules or things that are not allowed to do. Reglas o prohibiciones, limitations. For example, look at this sign. Mira esta señal de circulación. Si la ves, en español, usando el se impersonal, dices, in Spanish, using the impersonal se, you say, no se puede dar vuelta en U. Again, if we translate to English, you would use you. But in Spanish, you just use se plus the verb in the third person singular. No se puede dar vuelta en U. You cannot turn in you. You would also use it for simple rules or rules that are known for most of the people. For example, en la iglesia se hace silencio. In church, you have to make silence or to be quiet. En la iglesia se hace silencio. Again, you have the impersonal se plus the verb in the third person of the singular. To talk about this particular rule. As you can see, in both of the phrases, you don't have the subject. You don't know who can turn in you. You don't know who has to make silence. Because the important thing is to make the emphasis on the fact that you can turn and that you make silence, the action itself. As you can see, they are very similar, but how can you make the difference between them? ¿Cómo diferenciarlos? Mira las frases. Los pasteles de mi tía se venden en esta tienda. My aunt's cakes are sold on this store. Se venden. If we transform it to the passive, the normal passive voice, you would have los pasteles de mi tía son vendidos en esta tienda. My aunt's cakes are sold on this store. Since it's possible for you to find a subject, you can say that it is a passive reflexive phrase when it's possible to find the subject, even if it is a patient one, because this is the thing that was made, okay? Los pasteles, the cakes. So when you have the subject, you know it's passive reflexive. What happens with this phrase? Los fines de semana se salen a las discotecas. The weekends, you go out to the clubs. If we're talking about a normal routine or the culture of a place during the weekends, you would use again the se sale. But if you transform it to the active voice or the passive voice, in this case, you will not find a subject. Son salidas a la discoteca los fines de semana. Are gone out to the club the weekends? This is not logical. So, since you don't have any subject or logical phrase, when you transform it to the passive, it's an impersonal phrase. Estamos hablando de una frase impersonal. So, let's summarize a little bit what we just saw. ¿Cómo diferenciarlos? For the passive reflexive, you always have a subject. Siempre tienes un sujeto que es paciente. Is patient, is the object receiving the action. In the impersonal, you don't have a subject. No tienes sujeto, because the important thing is the action itself. And the clue, the key to know the difference is to transform to passive voice the original phrase. Transformar a voz pasiva la frase original. Remember as well that there is a particular fact. When it is impersonal, you have a verb only in third person of the singular. El verbo en tercera persona del singular. El verbo en tercera persona singular o plural es una frase pasiva refleja. The verb in the third person of the singular or plural would be then a passive reflexive phrase. And remember, it's not difficult. Spanish is not difficult. You just have to learn this very simple detail, these very details, and you can use it in an accurate way. Así que, gracias por vernos. Espero hayas disfrutado de la lección y que haya sido de provecho para ti. Así que, gracias y hasta luego. Bye.